Aquarius, 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 Aquarius. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Hi again, Adrian Nelson. Still, yeah. So I have just finished your reading, your mid-November reading. But then at the end of the reading, I realized that I actually didn't include an angel card for you, which I did for all the other zodiac energies. So I just wanted to finish all of those. And so now you've got a bonus coming back, an additional card. I just wanted to give you that extra as well. I think I'll draw three angel energies for you because a little bit pointless doing a video with just one card. Um, so, while I've got the opportunity, while I've got the floor, I would just like to thank all of you that do support me. Thank you for your support. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for all that are liking and sharing and subscribing and donating and just taking the time to share on the channel. It means so much to me. And the time that you spend either watching my videos or liking or subscribing, it really helps the channel to grow. And I'm an Aquarius moon myself. I'm a Cancer Sun Aquarius moon, and my goal when I started this channel, which by the way was encouraged by my best friend who is an Aquarius, was really to help everybody and to help those that maybe need a message, that maybe feel alone, that maybe don't have any hope or whatever the case may be. And that is really the purpose of my channel. Okay, so thank you for supporting that dream of mine. Because whatever I do, my goal is always to serve humanity in the greatest way that I possibly can. All right, so let's get you some energies. Let's get you some energies. Angel messages for Aquarius, please. Which angels are with you at the moment? And we can just make this a timeless reading. So whenever you come across it, it's a time for you to see it. Okay. I'm going to take two from the top. Make sure you're going to, okay, there's one over there and one from the bottom. Okay. All right. We're going to look at them one by one. I'm not going to turn them around. I'm going to leave them in reverse. So the first card that you get, Aquarius, is the Angel of Wisdom. Okay. And this card really reminds you that you kind of do have it together. I did pick up in your reading, which was actually a little bit longer than the other readings were, lots of details. But there's a little bit of all over the place sort of energy. So this card reminds you that you already have it together and you already know what to do. And, sometimes in life when, when our plate's a little bit full or our scale is sort of like weighed on a little bit heavily, we sometimes feel like, you don't know what to do. You've got no choice. You've got no options, sort of like stripped of all options. And there is sometimes when we forget the inner logic within us. So this card just reminds you that you already know what to do. But if you do need some support, you can ask the angels to come in to give you some clarity. Remember, you can ask for signs to give you some clarity. Okay. Next card we've got is the Angel of Gratitude. What are you grateful for? What are the things in your life that are working out? Because again, speaking with wisdom, like these cards are really, really big. I think they're like, if I remember correctly, the right size is A3, so they're huge. But anyway, the message here, for you is also remember with gratitude. Gratitude is a very powerful thing. And, I like what Louise Hay, the founder of Hayos, used to say. The more things you are grateful for, the more things life gives you to be grateful about. So things may not be working out the way that you'd like them to work out. Things may not be going the way that you maybe foresaw them going. But this is a reminder that just because things are not going according to plan doesn't really mean that it's falling apart. It also reminds you that when we focus on the things that are going well, that we get more beautiful things coming because that changes your vibration, and you may not be able to change your situation, you may not be able to change whatever's happening, but you can change yourself, and the way that you relate to things. And obviously, the very sort of famous Aquarius saying is that I got to change my mind around this. And this might actually be a space where you want to change your mind around this. And the way that you can look at changing your mind around it is by, focusing on what are the things that are still working. There's many things in the world that's going south at the moment, but the sun is still coming up. The stars are still coming out at night. The seasons are still changing. It is still raining when it needs to rain, and the sun is still shining when it needs to shine. And sometimes we forget that, and sometimes we also forget. And this is something that I focus very strongly in all my coaching that I do. If you look in the description, you'll see there's a link for my step-by-step tarot reading course. There's a free oracle card reading course. I've got an 8 weeks mind unlocking course, which is it's just brilliant. It's honestly, I say that with all pride. It is just brilliant. It is about unlocking all that beautiful potential that you've always had. Um, and just touching on psychic ability, a lot of times, people feel that only a select few, sort of like the chosen ones, um, sort of have psychic ability, but we all have it. It's as natural as breathing. It's who we are because we're part of everything and everything is part of us. And, you yourself, you are a miracle. You've always been a miracle, but we're so used to it that we forget about it sometimes. It's almost like if you imagine yourself being born into a family of, say, wizards or witches, or you're like just magical beings, magical creatures, then magic won't be a big deal to you because it's part of who you are. And as I was growing up, I was born naturally intuitive. I was at my birth, I had a near-death experience. I kind of got it out of the way right in the beginning. So I've always been intuitive and I've always been psychic. And so it was never really that big a deal to me. Um, in fact, sometimes the gift felt like a curse. But, it's only really obviously when I started to work with it more and practice with it more, like anything, like a muscle that you maintain, that I became really good at it, and that's what I'm sharing. And I keep on getting better and better at it. Like something that you practice. But the point that I'm getting to is that you know it's important to remember that you are part of this really big, beautiful, incredible universal plan. This is not the first time that humans are going through extreme sort of like diversity and things like that. Even though there's a lot of painful, hurtful things happening in the world at the moment, um, I want to remind you that within you, within your blueprint, you are a survivor. Human beings are survivors, and some of my family members have also passed away from cancer, for example. And when you see somebody pass away from cancer, you really get to see how the human body doesn't just give up on life. How strong we really are, how we will fight till the very last moment. And, you've got that strength inside of you, and you can use that strength to your own benefit and to the benefit of the world because, Aquarius, you have got that beautiful humanitarian thing about you where you just want to help everyone and you just want to support the world and all those things. And when you come from a point where you understand that yes, you are amazing and yes, you are incredible, and you don't have to hide away from that, because I think a lot in the world we are sort of brought up and raised to sort of hide our magic. But when you let it shine, that is when you can really inspire the world. All right, remember, nobody inspires anybody by sort of like dimming your light. But when you're on the hilltop and you're that beacon of light and you are shining, and you're not trying to overshadow anybody or anything like that, but when you come from that point where you really shine because you understand everything that you form part of, you get like the billions and billions of years of preparation that went into you being here right now for the limited period that life is. You get to understand that you are magic, and when you give that gratitude to the universe for all that support, that is when you become that, what I call, activating your magical magnet within, and you just draw the beauty to you. Angel of faith. Know that things are going to go good for you. Okay. When I say faith, it doesn't matter whether you are practicing spirituality or religion or whatever it is. You know, whatever resonates truth and abundance and beauty and prosperity and goodness and compassion and care and whatever for you. This, like what I call source of all, that which can't really be named. When we come from that point where we open ourselves to the idea that there's so much more to us than just this, that you're not just your body. Your body is a representation of who you are. It's not who you are, it's a representation of who you are. And sometimes we feel sort of like pushed in a corner, and it's only when you're really pushed in that corner. Ian Van Zandt speaks about that quite a lot in her book, Trust. But it's sometimes only when we get pushed in that corner that you sort of surrender to that higher power. All right. And know that that higher power is always available, whether you feel in a tight spot or not. And look how beautiful this is, angel of unity. There are things being brought together here for you in your life. You are called, and I can see now why I didn't draw your angel message, because you are called to a much higher purpose, Aquarius. You are called to serve the world. Right now, the world doesn't need co-sufferers. It needs people that step forward, that remind others of their beauty and of their light and of who they are. And that is you. That is the purpose that you've been born for in this world. Okay? See you next week.